All right, so you're thinking about moving to Frisco, Texas? That's right, we are right here in the Star District in Frisco. This is where the Cowboys practice center is. You've got the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. As you can see, you've got Cowboys Fit right behind me, an amazing gym. Several players work out there as well. You've got Concrete Cowboy over here, which is a great bar with outdoor area as well, usually very packed here on the weekends. I would say the Star District right here in Frisco is the new happening spot for some nightlife. Of course, right across the highway, you've got Legacy West and the shops of Legacy as well. Actually, that's Plano, but it's just right on the border of Frisco and Plano. So that's also a great hot spot to check out at night. But otherwise, the Star District is pretty happening over here in Frisco. And I would say it's not going to be, it's going to be for your young adults, young professionals, young families. It's a great spot for families, of course. Always a lot of kids out here playing around right now. It's pretty warm, so probably most people are kind of hanging out in the shade right now or grabbing some lunch. But otherwise, in this video, we're going to take you around and show you what $400,000 will get you in Frisco. And as you've seen in our other videos, we've got full vlog tours not only on Frisco and Plano and Prosper and McKinney and pretty much every single area around Dallas. Then we usually take you and show you different price points, but instead this time we're going to show you what is you can find in the $400,000 price range. We'll have some follow-up videos to this as well. We'll focus on 600 and even in the million in some follow-up videos. But this one, we're going to take you to 3 or 4 different homes, show you what $400,000 will get you here in Frisco, and we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Dallas, Texas and the surrounding areas like Frisco, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Dallas. My name is Levi. You know my partner Travis and I, we get calls and emails every single day from people just like you and you and you and you looking to make their move to Dallas. We absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas. So we are here now, as we mentioned, we're going to show you around some different price points in the $400,000 range so you can see what you can get in that price range here in Frisco. But this is what everybody loves about Frisco so much. Look at this. We are in a neighborhood. This is actually going to be the last stop. So you're going to have to come back or actually watch this video all the way through the end to come and see the house in this neighborhood. But it's at the higher end of 400,000, but still, this is why people love Frisco, is because in a $400,000 range, you have all of this as a part of your community. Look at this. You've got golf course, you've got ponds, you've got water features, you've got, look at that community pool, everything back there, plus driving in a huge clubhouse. And this is a gated community. Literally, I had to go through security just to get in here. And now I'm just like hanging out on the golf course. But look at this. I mean, you got the playgrounds over there, people shooting hoops. So you got basketball, look at that whole pool area back there. And it's just absolutely amazing. That's why everybody loves Frisco. That's why Frisco is in such high demand, because you can get really nice homes in a low price range, 400,000, and you're going to get some good square footage. You're going to get lots of amenities and some of the best school districts, not just in Dallas, but in the country as far as public schools. And what people really love about Frisco is the small class size, because there's actually 10 high schools, 17 middle schools, and 42 elementary schools just in Frisco alone. And that's one, actually, if you check out one of our videos, we did a pros and cons with a resident here in Frisco. That's one of her absolute favorite things, is that the small class size. It's actually, I think it's 14-to-1 teacher to student ratio. So one teacher for every 14 students or so. Much smaller class sizes. They really feel like they get the individualized attention. And so plus just all the schools are pretty much A or A+ rated, or 9 out of 10s or 8 out of 10s on great schools, just depending on where you look at. But I mean, look at this. Look how beautiful all this is around you. Great, cool little pond. Again, they even got the volleyball court right there. I missed that a little bit, but the golf course, I mean, what more could you ask for? You're right off the tollway too. You're right down from where we just came from, the Star District. So you got all the amenities, everything right in your backyard. It's absolutely amazing. but we're going to start out first with $430,000 price range. So let's go check out that first property. All right, so we're coming up to the first stop here in Frisco, and we're checking out this house, which is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It is right at 2,600 square feet, and it's priced at $431,000. So that's going to put the price per square foot right around $167, $168 per square foot. You'll see it's just a traditional brick, and otherwise, you know, that's what you're going to find here in Frisco. This was built in 2002, and that's what you'll come across. Homes built in the early 2000s, most likely. That's the year 2000 is right whenever Frisco really started to take off. And I just saw a little rabbit over there. Let's see if we can catch it. But yeah, right around the early 2000s is whenever they put in the Stonebriar Mall. And the Stonebriar Mall just really spurred off a ton of growth here in the Frisco area, and that's what got everything growing. And then you have these homes, just these traditional bricks. A lot of them are probably going to be, you know, it just depends on what your style or what your taste is. That last one that we just looked at, clearly move-in ready, but also at the same time, you're gonna, you know, there's just different styles of tile or cabinets or countertops that were used a lot back in the early 2000s. And so if that's not to your taste, then, you know, you may want to consider switching that out. But when you're in the price range $431,000, you can kind of see their neighborhood around. This is basically what you're going to get. The yards, these are a little bit, you know, you got some space. Some of these older homes right before the big boom in the early 2000s. So like I said, this one built in 2002, they were kind of doing, providing some bigger lots. Now these are sort of the same lot sizes that go up around Frisco, but the homes are just much bigger. And so that is one downside to Frisco, is usually kind of a smaller lot size in this area. But again, depending on the neighborhood, which we've got a full video on the top 8 neighborhoods in Frisco. You could definitely check that out. And you know, definitely when you get up in higher price ranges, you can get a little bit more lot with your home. So but this is pretty much right up here. You would see they've got a huge park right in the middle, and that's the other great thing about Frisco. What people really love is a lot of park space. So that's something, you know, parks like within these communities, playgrounds, common areas. A lot of these, I saw the HOA was, I think, $150 a year here. So that's, I don't believe they have a community pool. And with the HOA that low, they likely wouldn't. So that's probably just going to maintain like the entrance and a couple of other little things that are just kind of common. But $150 a year is not a lot. So just something to, they're not gonna do a lot for you in the community at that point. But probably just have you keep out, you know, broken down cars or boats and trailers. You can't park that stuff. So it's probably just to kind of maintain the rules and the regulations of the community. So. But that pretty much sums up the first property at 430. Let's go check out the next one. All right, so we're coming up on our next stop. And by the way, I double checked on the HOA in that last community because whenever I was driving around, you probably noticed at the very end, there was a community pool on the back side of that big park I saw coming in. So the HOA was actually $600 per year. So therefore that covers the pool and the entrance and all of that other good stuff. But here we're in kind of a newer construction community. I know I've talked about in other videos that all the new construction in Frisco is practically sold out, pretty much sold out. It's very hard to find. We've got to really dig in to try to find specific types of homes that people are looking for if they still want new construction in Frisco. Very, very difficult to come by. But this one was actually built in 2020. So, but it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's just under 2,000 square feet. So I would say that's a little bit on the smaller side whenever you're looking around in the Frisco area, but very well done. Very nice home. The price per square foot though, that's right around $260, so that's or $230, I believe. So that's going to bump it up quite a bit compared to the neighborhood we were in. Now you look around here and you're going to see all of these homes are built within the last year or so. So that does provide, and you can tell also because of the trees. See how small the trees are. These were cleared out. They still have their stands on them. They're clearly not mature. So that's just something that you're going to see. But still a pretty cool little home for $450,000. Still 3-bedroom, 2-bath over here in this area. We're right off of Main Street. By the way, just grabbed lunch at Haystack and got the burger and fry. Actually, the vegetable burger. So it was absolutely amazing. They've got one of the best veggie burgers there, and the fries are unbelievable. So you definitely got to go check out Haystack, one of my favorite restaurants in the old historic town of Frisco. One of my favorite spots there as well. But you can kind of see here, these are kind of cool, all built within the last year or so. Brick and stone traditional style, and you can see, and it looks like they've got another one. That one is more of a hardy plank wood exterior, which doesn't really fit in with the whole neighborhood. So not exactly sure why that's the case there. Maybe that's the sales office or something like that. But otherwise, you're going to see here, again, we're just right off of Main Street, so not that far from the Star District where we came. That's just 5 to 8 minutes down the tollway. You go out here, you're gonna have everything you need all around Frisco. That's what people really love about Frisco is, pretty much people that live in Frisco stay in Frisco. You're not gonna be really venturing down to downtown Dallas that much. Of course, people do commute down there, but again, there's so much activity and job growth going on in Frisco and Plano as well. Then most people, once they're here in the Frisco area, or the Plano area, or Prosper, Frisco and Plano, there's plenty of jobs down here. They're even predicting that Frisco area will have more more office space than downtown Dallas, which seems hard to believe, but they are building so much, and there's so many corporations moving here. Just last year in 2020 during the pandemic, over 22, 25 major corporations moved to the Frisco Plano area. And so always going to be creating a lot of job growth. So as you can see, again, that home right behind us there, built in 2020, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 2,000 square feet, $450,000. And you can see this whole community is pretty much new construction. Now I'm going to take you for a little cruise around here so you can kind of get more eyes on around the neighborhood. They've got some really great landscaping on the main road, one street over. So you'll see that. And then we'll go check out the next property. So let's go. All right, so we're coming up to our next spot here, and this is a beautiful neighborhood. Again, just not that far, right off of the tollway. And of course the tollway, the Dallas North Tollway, or the DNT, is one of the main roads that comes through Frisco, at least on the west side. But you'll kind of see over here, you'll see the home right behind me. This is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's right at $465,000, and it's right at 2,881 square feet. So it's going to put the price per square foot right around $160 or so. So not too bad. But again, in this neighborhood, you can see all kind of pretty much similar. Again, these were built in the early 2000s. That home was built in 2001 actually. And that, again, that's what you're going to find quite a bit over here, at least in the $400,000 range as well. I would say there's not a lot of new construction. The fact that we found that last community in the $400,000 range for new construction is not, of course that was last year as well too, before the boom really started picking up here. But you can see still, you get into these neighborhoods, even though you're going to get into a little bit of older homes, and I say older homes, it's like 20 years is not really that bad for a home, but I think seems like sometimes clients that we're working with are always looking for something new, right? It is nice to always have something new, but something about established as well, because you see, look at all the trees around here. You're going to get a lot more mature trees. You're going to get residents that have been here a lot longer, or more familiar with the community and the area and everything as well. So whenever you move into a community like this, then that's going to they're probably going to help you get established a little bit more, because they'll be happy to tell you about everything that's going on around the area, right? And so that's a cool thing. But I mean, look at some of these yards back here. You can see very nice landscape. Looks like you've got a pretty big green space back there as well. And the drive-in here was really nice. And of course, we're going to do what we always do, is take you a little cruise around the neighborhood right after this so you can see for yourself. But otherwise, I mean, it is nice and quiet back over here as well. And so again, that's what you're going to find with these older neighborhoods. I would say, like I said, around 20 years old or so. But again, $465 for a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, almost 3,000 square feet. Not bad, especially if you're just looking to start out or kind of keep your budget a little bit on the lower side. Maybe you're moving here, maybe you're not sure exactly. This could always be a starting point as well. The thing is, if you move here and we find you a great home, Frisco is always going to be growing, always going to be in demand, you could say, because of the school district, because of the proximity, because everything is pretty much brand new here. So even if you find something, like this to get into for $465, and you're thinking you want to be in a higher price point, or, upgrade in a year or two, here, and this is really should be anywhere, but I'd just say for here, once you hold that property for 2 years, if you're single, it's up to $250,000. If you're married, up to $500,000 that you can keep tax-free from capital gains. Now, I'm not a tax consultant or a CPA or anything like that, so disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Always check with your tax advisor or CPA. But at least, if you hold the home for 2 years, then you shouldn't be susceptible to any capital gains tax on the sale of that home. So that's a great way to come in here, find something, even if it's not your forever home or your dream home, and then we can always look to upgrade you here in a couple of years. So just something to consider. But with that, let's go take a cruise around the neighborhood, and we're going to go check out one more property and then wrap this video up. All right, now I told you we would be coming back to this neighborhood where we started out the intro, and I showed you all the ponds and the volleyball, the basketball, all of that. This is now the house. It's going to be listed at $489, but it's back on this at the end of this cul-de-sac. You can see here, which I can kind of see there's a little gap in the gate right there, but you can kind of see there's this home, and then we're coming up on this one right here. So this is one that's actually listed. So it's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's right at $489,000. And it is just over 3,000 square feet. So that's going to put the price per square foot around $163, which I think if that's pretty much the consensus on most of the homes we've looked at today, around the $160 per square foot range, except for that new construction, which was much higher. So I feel like that square footage was a little bit overpriced, but again, I'd have to double check the comps. Now, here's the thing, is that the reason I mentioned the square footage is so that we have a lot of people coming from California, New York, and Chicago, and that price per square foot clearly is a lot higher. So when you think about getting homes here in the square footage range of $160 or even $200 a square foot, I would imagine that's it's probably unbelievable or hard to believe, but that is the case here. You're going to find lots of homes. You can see this nice street down here. Very mature trees. This home was built in 2004 again, so you're going to have a much more established neighborhood, more mature trees, probably longer term residents that have been around here as well, which I always like that. You know, it's kind of like I've got some of those the old school residents in my neighborhood that have been there for 20-25 years, and they like to tell the stories about how the neighborhood used to be. But I'm in a little different situation too. You know, I live in a historic district close to downtown Dallas, so at the time that historic district wasn't always probably one of the best places to be in, but now it's pretty good, and my home value has gone up quite a bit, I would say, since I got my house. But again, so 4-bedroom, a 3.5 bath, 3,000 square feet, again for $489,000, gated community, all those amenities included in there as well. And the HOA was around $900 a year, so a little bit less than $100 a month, but you get that. The community pool, trust me, if you had your own pool, you're going to pay way more than that. So you get all that stuff. They had the volleyball court, all that good stuff there. So, you know, pretty much that sums up this video here. We're going to do what we always do. We're going to close out, cruise around this neighborhood so you can see a little bit more of it. But again, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We are happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas. We help out-of-state clients every single day. That's our specialty. I've moved in and out of state a couple of times myself, so I know exactly what you're going through or about to go through. And again, Texas, Dallas, it's a great place to be. So come join us here. We want to help you out. And until next time, well, hope to see you around town. Now let's go cruise around the neighborhood.